Hi, this is Karen O'Brien, and I wanted to give a quick video to show you how to get elevation data in the United States. So if you're not in the United States and you want to get free elevation data, I'm not going to say it's good, but it's free, you want to use the DEM downloader by OpenTopo DEM downloader. So it's a pretty easy process. You just get yourself an API key from their website and you can pick any of these elevation sources that might suit your project. But in the United States, we have the DEP system, 3DEP system from the USGS, which is a really excellent data source. So if you come to this data source manager and you go to the WCS tab, you can set up this data server to load directly to QGIS. So I'm going to show you, if you hit edit, this is the URL for that system, and this is you put any name you want in here, and then you click OK, and then you click connect, and that will load this list. I select the first one, and I usually only use the first one, and I click add, and then I'll close this as soon as that loads. It always loads with a broken link, but it's really easy to fix. You right click it and you click repair data source. Come back here to the WCS, expand 3DEP, and select the first one and click OK. That will connect to that, but we don't actually want to load that data, so let's just uncheck it and right click and export and save as. We want to save that as a raster, so we will set that to, I've done this a couple of times, so let's set that to this one, DEP3. I put that coordinate system in, and then I say that it's in meters. Click save, click yes, and the most important thing is we want to limit this to a specific extent. I'm going to use map canvas extent because it's a very small project, and click OK. While that's downloading, I'll tell you a couple of things about this data. If the data is disrupted, it's going to give you a little yellow message, and you might have a black hole in your data where it's zeroed out because it didn't get that data. So the server was disrupted. The more data you're trying to download, the more often that's likely to happen. So if that happens, just zoom into that hole and download a patch that covers that hole, and then use the merge tools over here to merge those data sets together. If you find that it's not working very well because you're trying to download too much data, do it in tiles. And if that's really a pain, go to the USGS website and download it directly from their website. It usually downloads a lot better from their website. It's just easier to do it from QGIS. Now once you have that data, this is like hard written data on your computer. So now we're kind of basically done with this server data. So right click R to remove that, right click R key, and now we need to convert this to feet because our project is not in meters. Over here in the pre-processing tools, we have a raster converter. We'll set this to our elevation file, and we'll set this to our output file, which again, I've done this several times, so I'm just going to do that. Click yes and replace it, and then click convert. And you see that we now have good elevation data in feet. I'll right click and remove that layer because we don't want that. And then we can move that down here, or we can put that in our external layers or wherever you want to do, and then you save the project, and that's now part of your project. Double click it to set it to hillshade. Makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of see what's going on. And now that you have good elevation data. Now, is it always good elevation data from USGS? No, it's not. So be sure to check the USGS LiDAR page, because sometimes they have better data on their LiDAR page, but they just haven't processed it into this data set yet. Okay, so sometimes you'll get this data from USGS and it will still be like 30-meter data, and it's obvious because it doesn't look like this. But other times you'll go get the data on the USGS LiDAR page, and it'll be better data because it's a different LiDAR set that hasn't been processed into this yet. So that is quickly getting elevation data for your project using QGIS.